Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about those tiny points of light moving across the darkness? They're not all stars. Some are satellites watching us. It's a fascinating world of technology with incredible potential and some unsettling implications. Let's uncover the secrets of the eyes in the sky and the AI that's changing everything. Let's rewind the clock and trace the origins of this incredible technology. We'll start by going back in time to 1957 when the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, a simple satellite that transmitted radio signals. This event kicked off the space race and led to an explosion in the number of satellites orbiting Earth. Today, there are over 8,000 satellites orbiting the planet, and that number is only going up. Tens of thousands more. Over 40,000 satellites from SpaceX alone, and they're not the only ones. Other companies have similar ambitions. It's all because we're relying on them more and more for communication, navigation, research, and, of course, surveillance. But it's not just about the numbers. It's about what these satellites can actually do. Over 1,000 satellites are designed to look down at Earth, and their capabilities are becoming mind-blowing. Early on, a single pixel in a satellite image covered an entire football field. Now, some can capture video of moving cars in real time and even the motion of ocean waves. Imagine seeing every detail of our planet from space. It's becoming a reality. Advancements allow seeing at night or through clouds using synthetic aperture radar, or SAR. SAR uses radar pulses to create images, even without sunlight or with cloud cover. So, there's basically no hiding from these things, even in a storm. It sounds like science fiction, but it's not. And it gets even more incredible. Rumors suggest some spy satellites can see details as small as 10 centimeters, maybe even 1 centimeter. It's hard to say for sure, as governments are secretive about their spy satellite capabilities, but the technology is advancing incredibly fast. Think about the implications of that level of detail. It's a game changer. In the US, commercial satellite resolution is limited to 25 centimeters or worse, but companies are constantly pushing for better resolution to compete internationally. It's like a technological arms race, but with satellites instead of weapons. So, are we entering a new era of surveillance? Let's dive deeper. We need to be careful about how this technology is used. Satellites can be used for good, like disaster response. But there's another layer to this artificial intelligence. It's not just about the eyes in the sky. It's about the brains behind them. It's not just about the satellites themselves, but how the collected data is analyzed and used. That's where AI comes in. The satellites are the eyes, and AI is the brain, making sense of what it's seeing. And this is where things get really interesting, and maybe a little unsettling. Now, let's talk about the kind of information this AI is gathering. It's not just satellite imagery, it's pulling in financial transactions, weather reports, social media activity, everything. It builds a massive database to identify patterns and make predictions. It's like a giant web, collecting data from every corner of our lives. But why? Its main goal is to identify patterns, predict events, and provide insights. This information can be used to stay ahead of potential threats, from wars and natural disasters to political uprisings and market changes. So, is this the future of surveillance? Is this where we're headed? Companies like Black Sky are using AI and satellite data to provide foresight to their clients. They help them anticipate market trends and make better decisions. The line between military and commercial use is blurring. It's a trend to watch. It feels like we're just at the beginning of this AI and satellite revolution. It's hard to imagine the world in a few years. It's like we're standing on the edge of something completely unknown, exciting, and a little scary. It's a brave new world, full of possibilities and potential pitfalls. It's important to have these conversations now and think about where it's all taking us. Let's talk about one of the biggest concerns with AI bias. It's fascinating, but also scary to think about all this information being gathered and analyzed, especially with AI. There are big questions about potential misuse. How can an AI be biased? It's a machine, right? Let's break it down. AI systems learn from massive amounts of data. If that data reflects existing societal biases, then AI can make those biases worse. It's like the old saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. But what does that mean in the real world? What are the consequences of a biased AI in surveillance? Envision an AI system used to identify potential security threats. Let's say the training data was focused too much on one particular group of people. AI could end up making some serious mistakes with real-world consequences. This AI could end up flagging people as threats simply because of their background, even if they haven't done anything wrong. That's a very real risk, showing why AI transparency and oversight are important. So, it's not enough to trust that the AI will be objective. We need to be critical. We also need to remember that even with all its advancements, AI is still not human. It can't fully grasp things like human behavior, the complexity of real-world situations, or ethical considerations. It's a powerful tool, but it's just that, a tool. It needs to be used responsibly. We need to ensure humans are still involved to make sure the technology aligns with our values. AI is great at answering questions, but not so good at knowing what questions to ask. That's a crucial point. We can't just let AI run wild. We need human oversight. Humans can bring critical thinking, see the bigger picture, and consider different angles that an AI might miss. It's all about finding the right balance between human judgment and AI's capabilities. We need to work together, not see AI as a replacement. It's not a magic solution. It's a tool that can be used for good or bad, depending on the user. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something that affects us all. Privacy. What happens to our privacy when AI can access and analyze so much data? It raises serious concerns about privacy. In this data-driven world, our privacy is more vulnerable than ever before. We need rules and regulations to protect people's privacy in this data-driven world. It's one thing to know satellites are collecting data, but another to think about AI analyzing it, potentially revealing personal things. Raises a lot of questions about who has access to our data and how it's being used. We're still figuring out the ethical and legal implications of AI and big data. It's a conversation that everyone needs to be part of. We need to have these conversations now, before it's too late. Our privacy depends on it. We need to be having these conversations now, before this technology gets too far ahead of us. We need to decide what kind of world we want to live in, and what role AI should have in our lives. So, we've talked a lot about AI in theory, but how is it actually being used? One big area is image recognition and analysis. Think about all the images collected by satellites. It's impossible for humans to analyze all those images. That's where AI comes in. AI can be trained to identify specific things in those images. So you could train an AI to find all the ships in a certain part of the ocean or track troop movements on a battlefield. It's a powerful tool, but like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil. AI is here to stay, and it's going to change the world in big ways. The question is, how do we make sure it's used for good? How do we make sure it benefits all of humanity? It's a complicated situation that we need to approach carefully. We need to have these conversations to engage with these issues and work together to find solutions that are ethical, sustainable, and benefit everyone. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the impact of AI on global politics. The rise of AI, especially in the context of national security and the military, is definitely changing the global power balance. It's like a new kind of arms race, but instead of nukes, it's AI. It's a chilling thought. As countries invest in more advanced AI systems, The stakes get higher. The potential for mistakes and escalation increases. It's like a new kind of Cold War, but instead of nukes, it's artificial intelligence. That's the weapon. Even the US military is worried about the potential for misuse of AI. The rules are changing. Traditional ideas of warfare and espionage are being disrupted by AI, and it's not clear what the new rules will be. So, what can we do? How do we prevent this from spiraling out of control? It's a tough challenge, but there are things we can do. We need to encourage dialogue and cooperation between countries on AI development and how it's governed. We need to establish shared rules and principles to make sure AI is used ethically and to prevent its use in ways that could destabilize the world. It's a global challenge that requires a global solution. We need to work together. We have to find ways to build trust between nations and make sure that AI benefits all of humanity, not just a select few. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The impact of AI on global politics. Let's shift gears and talk about the future of AI and satellite technology. What can we expect in the coming years? The future of AI and satellite technology is full of exciting possibilities, but also potential challenges. As these technologies continue to evolve, we can expect to see even more sophisticated applications in various fields. In the realm of Earth observation, AI-powered satellites will play a crucial role in monitoring our planet's health. Imagine AI algorithms analyzing real-time satellite data to track deforestation, monitor glacier melt, and predict natural disasters with unprecedented accuracy. This information will be invaluable for scientists, policymakers, and communities working to protect our environment. But it's not just about observing Earth. AI and satellites will revolutionize how we connect with each other. Space-based internet constellations like Starlink are already expanding global connectivity, bridging the digital divide and bringing information access to remote communities. As satellite technology advances, we can expect faster speeds, lower latency, and more reliable internet access for everyone. However, this progress also brings ethical considerations. How do we ensure equitable access to these technologies? As AI and satellite technology become more powerful, it's crucial to address concerns about privacy, surveillance, and potential misuse. We need to establish clear ethical guidelines and international regulations to ensure these technologies are used responsibly and for the benefit of all humankind. The future of AI and satellite technology is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape it. By engaging in open discussions, fostering collaboration, and prioritizing ethical considerations, we can harness the immense potential of these technologies to create a more connected, sustainable, and equitable future for everyone. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of satellites and AI. It's a complex and rapidly evolving landscape, and it's crucial that we stay informed and engaged. If you'd like to explore further, check out these videos next.